In September of 2014, I took a great circle trip on Amtrak from Sacramento to Los Angeles, New Orleans, Chicago, St. Paul, Portland, and back to Sacramento. In the process, I went through 5 Union passenger terminals from the past. Here is the video of those stations. The Los Angeles Union Station is a fine example of Art Deco and Mission Spanish Revival architecture. Opened on May 3, 1939, it is located about a block from the historic origin of El Pueblo de Los Angeles. Its graceful style gives the appearance that it is smaller than it actually is. Today, close to 2 million passengers pass through annually. In the 1930s, the Southern Pacific, Union Pacific, and Santa Fe created the Los Angeles Union Passenger Terminal Company, LAUPT for short, to combine their passenger operations at one location.
To be in pictures, you're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures, oh what a hit you would be. Your voice would thrill a nation, your face would be adored. You'd make a great sensation with wealth and fame, your reward.
The broad main concourse leads to the 12 platform tracks which are above. Coming down the ramp from tracks 11 and 12, I turn west toward the main lobby of the station.
You ought to shine as brightly as Jupiter and Mars. You ought to be in pictures, my star of stars.
Many areas of the station are no longer used for passengers, as is this ticketing area of the former 3 railroads. This is now used for events, parties, weddings, and filming commercials and movies. Several patios provide an open atmosphere in which to relax. This is a dead-end station, ending where I am right now on the south end. The iconic Los Angeles City Hall can be seen from here. Here's a surfliner arriving. Besides Amtrak and Metrolink, 2 light rail lines and a subway serve the station. It's off to New Orleans on the Sunset Limited. Opened on January 8, 1954, New Orleans Union Passenger Terminal is relatively new compared to most Union stations. The architecture I would describe as Greyhound Bus Revival, because that is what it is, just a big Greyhound bus terminal. When opened, it was served by 7 railroads and 44 daily trains. Today there are 2 daily Amtrak trains, the Crescent and the train they call the City of New Orleans, and 1 tri-weekly, the Sunset Limited. The only redeeming quality is the murals. Outside of that, it is just a bus terminal. Onward to Chicago on the train they call the City of New Orleans. Chicago Union Station was completed in 1925, replacing an older one on the same site. It is in the Beaux-arts style. The Great Hall is magnificent and where passengers used to wait for trains. Today, all the operational waiting rooms, concourses, and food courts are on lower levels and not very photogenic. Amtrak just opened a new spacious first-class lounge in 2016. Chicago Union Station is the third busiest in the U.S. after Grand Central Terminal and Penn Station in New York. If you're going to meet someone here, you just tell them you'll meet them in the Great Hall because you'll never find them in the bowels of the station. This is truly a showcase. St. Paul, here I come on the Empire Builder. The St. Paul Union Depot construction was started in 1917 and completed in 1923. It is the third station to be at this location. The classical revival architecture is probably the reason it looks like a federal courthouse. In its heyday in the 1920s, it was served by 282 daily trains. That was reduced to 0 when Amtrak took over in the 1970s and moved their station to another location. It was completely renovated and reopened in 2012 with the hopes of attracting businesses and people to the area. Amtrak moved back in 2014. It is a cavernous building with a very wide concourse. There is a restaurant at the entrance, but the station has failed to attract much business. The ramp to the Amtrak platform is all the way at the far end of the concourse and is served by only 2 trains, the Empire Builder East and West daily. There is a small museum with pictures and artifacts of the history of the station. The Empire Builder Lounge is a comfortable place for the first-class sleeping car passengers. On to Portland on the Empire Builder. Most Union stations were built or rebuilt in the early part of the 20th century. Portland got its first in 1893, and it's still serving today. It was built in the Romanesque Revival style for the Northern Pacific, Southern Pacific, Union Pacific, and Spokane, Portland, and Seattle railroads. The very nice first-class lounge has a view of the tracks. A nice pedestrian bridge crosses from the newly built condos on the site of an old rail yard to the depot, and it's a good place to watch the action. The Portland section of the Empire Builder is arriving from Spokane, where it's split from the section going to Seattle. The previous day's builder is directly in front of the station, the one I arrived on, as it was 10 hours late. After discharging passengers, the builder has been turned on the other side of the Willamette River and is returning to the station off the steel bridge. I'm returning to Sacramento on the Coast Starlight.